Hi everybody, Jessie here from JessieBanks.com and welcome back to another video. So today I have ordered the Altenew Artist Watercolors. I have the other set. Hang on, I still have the box for it. This was their first set of watercolors, so it's their first set was 36 half pounds. The new set is 24 half pounds in a metal box. The original set came in a plastic box like this. Mine was one of the first ones, so the lid pops off. That's fine by me. I just use it as a mixing palette. It really doesn't affect it at all. They work the way they're supposed to. So I'm going to do a little comparison here later on. These are the colors out of the original box. I've already had a play with these. I've created a card with these using a stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. So I've done a little bit with them. This is a little bit more, I've used them in comparison to how I usually do watercolor like unboxings and sharings and things. So yeah, I've played with these, which is kind of nice. It gives me a little bit more of a feel for them. What really drew me to buy these is these are called Artist Watercolors, and these were advertised as artist grade. Did I think they were artist grade? No. Are they good watercolors? Of course. There's nothing wrong with these paints. They work fabulous. The colors are great. But I didn't find them artist grade. So I was like, So now we're releasing more artist grade watercolors. I love Altenew as a company. I love their stamp sets. I own a ton of them. I paint their florals all the time. But it was just kind of a curiosity thing for myself because if you've watched my channel, I am a watercolor junkie. So when you unbox this, this came wrapped in a plastic bag. And then when you opened it up, there was a piece of foam up there to stop the paints from bouncing around. And all of the paints were wrapped with a sticker. So I did cut the sticker and put it on the bottom just because it has the pigment information and everything on there. I'm super impressed with Altenew for thinking of putting pigment info on there. There's been other companies that have released that don't, and then you had to beg for it forever. Now you have to go hunting to find it, and I really like the fact that it's there and I don't have to hunt for it. So I took them and I created a swatch card for them. So this is the range of colors that comes with it. We have Pure White, Pocket Full of Sunshine, Summer Afternoon, Fiery Sunset, Warm and Cozy, Tea Party, Red Cosmos, Red Sunshine, Cherry Blossom, Shades of Purple, Lapis Lazuli, Deep Blue Sea, Rock Collection, Coffee Break, Delectable Delight, Fall Harvest, Rainforest, Tropical Forest, Green Hills, Green Meadows, Seashore, Cool Summer Nights, Starry Night, and Crystal Water. Out of these, there is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 that are single pigment colors, the other ones are mixed. Now, in saying that, they advertise these colors to work with their line of ink. So I am definitely not comparing these to, say, the Daniel Smith palette or anything of that nature, simply because that's not what these are marketed as. These are not marketed as a standalone palette that you're going to be able to do beautiful, fine finished pieces with. You can, don't get me wrong, you can, but they are advertised to coordinate with Altenew's entire vast range of inks so that you have paints that kind of match the inks and you can do all of that. So that's what these are marketed as. Are these paints better than these paints? I believe so. These paint nicer than these paints do, just from the use I've used out of these ones and these ones. Do we have some color foldovers between the two palettes? Yes. There are some that are very, very similar. Do you need both palettes? No. Do you need more than one watercolor palette in your collection? No. Do I have 100? Yes. Am I okay with everybody else having 100? If you want to. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. I'm just going to show you guys the colors that are very similar. We're going to swatch them out, and then I'll show you guys the card again, and that'll kind of be it. I really like these. I love the palette. I think the palette itself is gorgeous. It's purple. It's got flowers on it. It says Craft Your Life. I just think this palette is stunning. It's a metal palette. It cleans up really nice. Your inside mixing area is very, very white. I do wish that these were pushed out so I could sneak a third row of paints in here if I wanted to move, say, some from this other palette into this palette. But all in all, this is beautiful. I love this 100 times more than this on packaging alone. You get more colors in this, but I can use this for everything I use this for. I'll keep both. I'll keep using both. Don't get me wrong. I just figured this would be kind of interesting to look at since I have both palettes. I'm by no means bad-mouthing Altenew. Don't take it that way. I have 2 palettes of watercolors from them, and if they released a 3rd one, I would probably order it tomorrow. Let's be honest. Okay, so I have this is just a piece of cheap, like Canson XL watercolor. It's nothing super expensive or fancy, but it'll work perfect for this. So we're going to start things off here with, in our new palette, this one is Pocket Full of Sunshine. And in the old palette, we have Citrus Burst. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you guys can see. We have Citrus Burst. I need to get a little more water on there. Now, lots of the differences are going to be negligible. They can be used for similar things. This yellow is cooler than that yellow. But I like them both. They're fine. Like, it's just kind of showing you guys the overlap if you decide that you have this one, if you need this one. The next color we have here is Summer Afternoon. This one's definitely a warmer yellow. And in the other palette, we have Lemon Fresh. Those colors are identical. They're the same color, as far as my eye can tell. I don't have pigment information from this palette, so I don't know if they actually are the same color. I know that the paint chunks in this one, I guess, because they're extruded chunks of paint that they put in, are smaller than the ones that came in this palette. So, I mean, they definitely didn't just get pulled out of this palette and shoved into this palette, so that's a good sign. A Fiery Sunset. And Warm Sunshine. I just have both of these in my hand so that I can remember which ones I want to compare. These ones are very similar. Fiery Sunset is more orange, and it washes out a lot cleaner. I get more of a yellow washout, where this one just fades out the orange a little bit. Next one on the list is Tea Party. I love this color. This is much like my beloved quinacridone coral from Daniel Smith. It reads very much the same for me. In here, there's a few colors that are kind of close, but the closest one I would say is the Crimson out of this palette. It looks a lot darker when it is wet, but this one goes through a bigger drying shift and it gets virtually the same. But that's what I expected. Like I said, these both were marketed to work with their inks. So I expect to have lots of colors that are very much the same because they're marketed for their inks. So, I mean, they did a great job. I love both palettes, let's be honest. I think they're both fantastic. Then we're going to go to Red Cosmos. And some of these don't have, like, a crossover in this palette. There's only one purple in the new palette, where there's 3 in the old palette. So Red Cosmos, and I was using, oh boy, which one did I have here? The Rubelite out of this palette, which is this one. The Rubelite is cooler and more purple than the Red Cosmos, but they're similar. I love the range of colors in these. I think they are gorgeous. I think they are absolutely stunning. I'm going to skip Red Sunshine and I'm going to go to Cherry Blossom. And for Cherry Blossom, I had Puffy Heart as a very similar color. So there's that. What else do we got here? Let's see. Oh, we got Shades of Purple, which is the only purple in this palette. And it's a very pretty purple. I love it. I think it's gorgeous. I really enjoy painting with purples, so it was kind of a fun one to play with. And out of here, I picked out Midnight Violet as something similar. They're almost the same. Next one I have is Lapis Lazuli. I have an original Lapis Lazuli, like the actual pigment. They aren't the same, so if you're thinking that you can swap this out, and for your Daniel Smith one, it's not the same color. It's a beautiful color though. And for that one, I picked this Persian blue. This one is cooler, or warmer I should say, but they're both kind of ultramarine-y, which is really nice. Then we have Deep Blue Seas, which is actually the same pigments that make up the previous color. There's just more white in it. So Deep Blue Seas. And with that one, I put this Ocean Waves. I'm going to make a big swatch of the Ocean Waves because the next color in this palette is similar to it as well. They're not identical to each other, and they're not identical to Ocean Waves, but they are kind of close. I really like the way this one granulates, which makes me really happy. The next color in this palette, though, that I put close to it is the Crystal Water one. So they are different tones, but they're both very similar to that color. Then I have Starry Night, which is like the navy of the family. Beautiful color. I love that blue. I love how fast these re-wet. I didn't spray any of these prior to starting, and I think they're gorgeous. And this one here is Dusk. Again, they're not identical, but they're comparable. They're kind of close, right? They're definitely different colors. I would use them both in the same painting for different things, that's for sure. Then we've got Cool Summer Nights. And this one, which is called Desert Night. Oh. And now that I'm looking at them here, I would actually invert them while they're wet. So I would actually put Starry Night and Desert Night and Cool Summer Night and Dusk as similar. Whoops. Just please don't take this the wrong way though. I'm just sharing because I have both palettes and I haven't seen it done yet, so I thought it would be kind of a fun video to do. Like I said, I love both palettes. Then I'm going to skip, oh no, Seashore. Sorry. I'll do that one first. This color's great. I love a good teal though. Love a good teal. And I'm going to put that one with Lagoon. Lagoon is bluer. Seashore is greener. Then we have Rainforest, which is... I love that they got the names on the sides of the pans here. Speaking of, while I'm using that, they've got the names. They're hard to see in the video, but they've got the names printed on the side, so it definitely helps you pick out which color you're grabbing. So we got Rainforest. And Bamboo, probably my favorite color out of this entire palette. So those are very similar. And then I put, where are we now? Okay, then we've got like the browns. We'll go into the browns. So we got Delectable Delights out of the new palette. And Coffee Break out of the new, oh, that's not Coffee Break, Jessie, you're on the wrong end. Coffee Break out of the new palette compared to the neutrals in this palette. So there's a Paper Bag, which is redder than both. And there is Mocha, which is still more maroon than both and on the redder side. And then there is Espresso, which I guess is kind of similar to the Coffee Break. They're a little different. This one's a little more, this one's a little grayer, I would say, just from what I've been using them. And then you've got Jet Black out of the old palette. I'm putting the old palette on the bottom in case you guys haven't noticed. And Rock Collection out of the new palette. So those would be the ones that I say are closest out of the two. You don't need 100 palettes. It's whatever you want. Like, buy what you want, enjoy it. I'm definitely happy that I picked up the new palette. I'm still happy that I picked up the old palette. I will be using both. I I do find that the new palette is a better quality than the old palette, and these should have been marketed as a craft grade paint from day one. But they still work. They're still a great paint. They paint beautifully. They're very vivid and vibrant, and they hold up and they mix well, and they everything I want to paint to do. I just find that they're craft grade and not artist grade. Whereas I find this, which I still wouldn't claim as an artist grade paint. It's a beautiful paint. It's definitely a step up from this, but I would not put it on the same level as like my Daniel Smiths and them. But I'm not paying the same dollar I'm paying for these. So that's, you know, what I expect. I love both palettes. I will leave a link to both palettes if I can find both in stock in the description box below. I think they're absolutely beautiful. Again, I did take this one and I painted this card with it. I used, what colors did I use? I used Tea Party, and then I mixed in Starry Night with Tea Party to make the purpley color for the little bit of shadow on the flowers. And then I used Pocket Full of Sunshine, Tropical Forest, and Green Meadows for the leaves. And for the little stems, I just used Coffee Break. So that is everything, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it kind of gives you a little bit of comparison in all of Altenew's watercolors, be them all as fabulous as they are. And I will see you guys very soon in another video. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye for now.